Since 1959, there's only been 16 franchises that have won an NBA championship. Essentially, every team that's won a championship has had like a superstar level player, with few exceptions. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I mean, yeah, obviously there's eras like there was Bill Russell, there's Wilt Chamberlain, then you have the Bird and Magic era, you have Michael Jordan, and now like LeBron, Steph Curry, I would say is a superstar. But I would go a step further and say that almost every champion has had an elite big, and that might just because, I mean, it's a big man's game, especially in the past. It's changed quite a bit, but if you go through pretty much every champion, Celtics had Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, the Lakers had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You go further in, there's obviously the Shaq era, Duncan on the Spurs. Even like a team like the Dallas Mavericks, I think they had Tyson Chandler playing at like a defensive player of the year level. Even a team like the Miami Heat, like Chris Bosh was sort of an elite big. I'm being a little broad when I say elite big, but
right. And before that, Shaq and Zoe.
Shaq and Zoe, right. And then on the Cavs, I think you can consider LeBron James an elite big because he's 6'9", 270. But, you know, Kevin Love kind of qualifies as kind of this elite big. On the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, you know, he's kind of elite big. So setting that as the foundation of what you build a championship on and how many teams have just not even come close, I get where the Sixers were coming from. Just look at the Philadelphia 76ers and look at the kind of success they had before they decided to start tanking. They had 150-win season since 1990. Since 1990, they only won 50 games once. I mean, you're just looking through this, and it's just like tons of mediocrity. And then finally, in 2000, they end up winning 56 games because of Allen Iverson, a player they tanked for. And they also had Dikembe Mutombo, who was an elite big at the time.
Right.
So, I mean, you're talking about perpetual mediocrity for 20-plus years, with the lone exception of Iverson, who they tanked for. And leading up to them hiring Hinkie, Philly had been a treadmill team for the past 3 years. I think that's just the worst position to be in for a team. So I did this post on Reddit a while back, probability of success by tanking. And I did a bunch of really weak math to look at a 40-year period of top 6 draft picks. There's about 240 guys taken in the top 6. And I was just trying to figure out, like, how likely is it from these picks, how likely is it that you're going to end up a star? And I mean, basically after doing a bunch of math, I found out that a top 6 pick has a 43% chance of being an all-star, which is not great, but likely that, you know, the top talent in the league is going to come into the top of the draft. And by taking a top 6 pick, you're about a 43% chance that's going to become an all-star. But the thing is, if you start getting multiple picks, multiple top 6 picks, then it magnifies substantially. So if you had 2 years of top 6 picks, it's about a 70% chance one of those guys is going to become an all-star. If you have a 3 years of tanking, basically, of top 6 picks, it becomes a 83.5% chance that you're going to end up with an all-star. So the 3 guys basically that Philly tanks for are Embiid, Okafor, and Simmons. And just by, you know, this basic math that I did, there's about an 83% chance that one of those guys ends up being a star, and it looks like they got him in Embiid and possibly also Simmons as well. So I kind of got it from that standpoint, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. When did you start the...
Yeah, so I started in 1972, and I ended up in 2012. I mean, I knew this was not like a perfect study in any way, but generally the top talent comes out in the top of the draft. So I was wondering, like, how likely it is that you're going to get a star. You can kind of look at it from Boston's standpoint too, right? So we obviously didn't tank. We did tank in 2013, but
yeah.
we ended up getting 3 guys in the top 6: Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. And I think, you know, you can roughly say that there's like an 80% chance that one of those guys is going to be a star, and I think it's probably going to be Tatum. So I get the logic of bottoming out. But on the flip side, and this is something that I should acknowledge now, and I probably didn't acknowledge as much, I look at a team like the Sacramento Kings, who have missed the playoffs for 12 years and have had quite a few top picks, or a team like the Timberwolves, right? They, up until recently, missed the playoffs 13 years in a row. And one year they had 2 picks in the top 6, and they ended up taking Ricky Rubio, number 5, and Johnny Flynn, number 6. They missed out on Steph Curry. So it's really possible that, you know, Philly could have failed regardless, just because of dumb decisions.
The King thing is interesting. They're good. They're really good, and
they're good right now. Yeah.
No, they're going to be good. Fox is awesome.
Right, and I mean, they basically have done essentially what Philly did in a roundabout way, because they have now Fox, who is one of the top picks, and then they have
Marvin
Bagley, right? So that's another one.
Bogdanovich, who could handle the ball. He comes off the bench. He could shoot. Buddy Hield. Willie Cauley-Stein has obviously improved a lot. He's in a contract year, but he's improved.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good. I really like them.